Hello and good morning everyone, and thank you for joining our HP Service Anywhere webinar today. So we're joined here by Verity Greg, Business Development Manager at HP. We also have Neville Ward, a Technical Pre-Sales Consultant at HP. And we also have Stuart Curry, who is from Bytes. He will be giving you a really quick intro to Bytes, and also we'll be talking about the relationship between Bytes and HP.
Thanks, Amy. So yes, thank you everybody for joining. My name's Stuart Curry and I head up our data center proposition at Bytes. I thought I'd take this opportunity quickly just to talk a little bit around two of the other focus areas for us as a business. Most organisations know us in the market for licensing. We're very competent and very strong in that area and will continue to be. But we've stood up two additional focus pillars as an organisation going forward. Cloud services, it's on the tip of everybody's tongues these days, and we do go to market with typical public cloud services, and for more information on that, feel free to touch on this after the seminar. But the other area that is more important and more appropriate today is infrastructure. So as a business, we've evolved and matured, and as a group of companies across the EMEA, we all now stand up and have a sort of a very similar look and feel as our proposition. In terms of the reasoning for bringing this up today, we've partnered with a company called HP. Most of you are aware of HP, and we're starting to mature as two organisations and together taking to market a message around service delivery. So on that note, I will pass you over to Verity from HP, who will then bring you into the reason why we're here today. Thank you.
Hi everybody, just checking you can hear me. Okay, great. So we've just put up our slides on HP Service Anywhere. I'm really pleased you could join this morning. Thank you so much for sparing the 45 minutes that this is in the diary for. I'm going to do just a little quick overview here of Service Anywhere before Nev talks in more detail. Nev's our technical pre-sales consultant for Service Anywhere, and he will go into a demo. And then, as promised in the invitation, we will talk about some existing customer success stories and what they've managed to achieve with Service Anywhere and what improvements they've managed to make using the tool. So just an overview here of the Service Anywhere difference and what we believe helps us to stand out from quite a packed market for service desk tools. HP Service Anywhere, for those that aren't aware, is our SaaS-based service desk tool. It's an easy-to-use self-service cloud platform, and our existing customers are saying that it's helping them to improve IT service quality and customer satisfaction. So to break it down from a persona point of view, you can see on this slide the different perspectives that the people, the stakeholders within your service desk might be thinking and coming from. So from an end user point of view, Service Anywhere is a new tool. It's interactive, it's dynamic, it understands what you're looking for, and it will help you. It's a walk up and use portal, so there's no training required when you first log into Service Anywhere, and it uses the familiar interactions of modern solutions that people are used to when they use Google or Amazon or other ways of doing things on home. From a service desk agent point of view, we've actually done something quite different with Service Anywhere, where we've flipped the concept of service desk on its head. So instead of having your service desk, instead of being driven by people ringing in or logging tickets, the service desk agents are driven by a type of an event. So they can actually be much more in control of their time, they can prioritize their time, they can work on things that are issues across the organization rather than answering repeat questions. In fact, one of our Service Anywhere customers recently said that their service desk agents can now spend time fixing things rather than just typing things and explaining things. And in fact, we've actually proven to reduce ticket handling time by 50% with Service Anywhere because of this new way of working. From an analyst and process manager point of view, we have things to improve efficiency within Service Anywhere, process KPIs, which Nev will show, and then recommendations for improvement, so throughout the system. So, for example, within the change management module, we have change analytics, which will offer you insights into your changes and make recommendations for improvements in change management, including changes you could automate, for example. And then for administrators, you can see here we have out-of-the-box processes, codeless configuration. This is a key one. We hear a lot from customers who use other service desk tools that they have to spend a lot of money on technical consultants after they've bought the product to do coding, Java coding of process within the tool. That's not the case with Service Anywhere. It's a drag and drop codeless configuration system, so you don't actually have to hire any developers to do JavaScript changes to your processes. And it's great because it means that process owners can actually own their own processes. So if they want to make changes to steps in their processes, they can simply do that with a drag and drop powerful tailoring suite that we have built into the tool, so that they don't need any JavaScript skill to be able to do that, and they can do it immediately. They don't have to wait for some technical resource to become available. The other thing that's great for administrators is the upgrades. We hear a lot that people are on older versions of their service desk tool because they're not able to upgrade because they've made some customizations within the tool. Upgrades with Service Anywhere are continuous and seamless. We have our product side by side with our customers and see how they're using the tool and help them understand ways that we can actually improve the tool and make it easier to use. And then we make those changes and we roll them out into the tool on a regular basis, and is what we call continual delivery, so for improvements into the tool. And everybody is eligible for the upgrades, and we give our customers a notice period, and we give them a chance to preview the upgrade, and then the upgrade's made at a time that's convenient and doesn't affect any live support. In fact, another customer who I'm going to talk in a little bit more detail at the end of the webinar finds this one of the key advantages of Service Anywhere, and a quote from the customer is to say that significant new features and improvements are made at regular points throughout the year. Therefore, it's clear that Service Anywhere is in active development based on customer improvements. So that's just a summary from a persona. Go into a little bit more detail on each, and then there will be a demo.
Right, good morning, everyone. So my name is Neville Ward. So I work in our pre-sales team within HP Software. So I've got a few more slides to go through. I really want to get on and show you the demo rather than just talk about it. So I'm going to just use the slides to kind of position what I'm going to show you today. So as Verity talked about, there are kind of four personas that we always consider when we're talking about Service Anywhere. The end user, in terms of the end user, what do they want? They want something that's intuitive, it's integrated into the same solution. An important aspect these days is being able to access this from different devices. So we have universal access from web, tablets, smartphones, etc. So we're using responsive web design, HTML5 technology on that. The other aspect that people are used to, end users are more used to these days, is the social aspect. So I will show you this, but the ability to do peer-to-peer knowledge management support, so tapping into the expertise of not just your IT people, but your users who have experience in certain parts. The other thing that most, and I think all self-service portals offer these days, is the ability to chat, and of course we're no different than that, but we're trying to do something a little bit different in terms of how we do that. So rather than just opening up a session with an operator to have a chat, what we want to use is chatbot technology, so we can actually match the customer's query to the right offering, and that speeds up the whole process and the quality of service they receive. So I'm going to go through all those points with you shortly. From the operator productivity perspective, Service Anywhere is built on our big data platform, which allows us to do things like hot topic analytics, which I'll show you. So we can bring to life where the issues are happening within the environment, what are the hot topics at the moment, are there a lot of incidents about a particular topic. So it allows us to do that. They need to a single screen while they're communicating with a customer. So we can see any of their previous records and the system's knowledge articles, news articles that may be of interest to help that customer through that particular issue that they have. Another bit of feedback we've had from our customers is around CI detection and the ability to easily put a CI against the record. So I'm going to show you that. So again, we have the ability with our platform to actually build this in. So rather than having to go to another screen and enter a CI, we can simply put it into the description text, and that will automatically add that to the record. Contextual analytics, very strong within Service Anywhere in terms of guiding people through that, and I'll show you that in the context of a change record. Form and process improvement, reporting and change analytics. I'm going to show you our reporting dashboards, the ability to create reports very easily. There are a number of out-of-the-box reports. And I guess what's different with this solution than others, it's not just about reporting, it's about analytics. So rather than just looking at KPIs, Service Anywhere will actually look at your KPIs and start to make suggestions on how you could improve where you are. So if you're lacking or you haven't met your target, Service Anywhere can tell you haven't met your target, but can also give you ideas where you can improve to make sure you meet the target now and in the future. In terms of automation, we have the ability to automate steps within the process flow. So rather than rely on an operator to move the record from one phase to the other, we can put business rules or automation in those. So I'm really now going to go into the demonstration and show you some of the features of Service Anywhere. I'm going to start with the portal. I talked earlier about the experience, the intuitive social experience. So hopefully what you see in front of you is the Service Anywhere portal. You can see from this I can brand this, so I'm sitting in London today, so I've put a picture of a Tower Bridge in there, but you can brand it to your own company's themes, etc. So a few features that I want to go through on the portal is you'll see at the top we make the search very prominent within the solution. Now this is because people are used to now going into search engines to find what they're looking for, etc. So because we're using a real language search capabilities, the user can just go in, type a search term, and the system will automatically start to return different articles. They could be knowledge articles, they could be offerings, they could be requests, and they can simply look at their article, and hopefully that would give them an idea of what that particular what the solution they're looking for was, or the knowledge that they particularly need. The other thing that Service Anywhere does is if you start to type in a search term and you search against that, in terms of its news, it will bring up news that's relevant to that particular area. So in this particular instance, because I'm searching email on mobile, the news on the right-hand side has changed, and that displays news that's relevant to email as a service. So we're trying to be very intuitive in terms of the information that's coming back to the user of that. The user can access the knowledge articles, they can read the knowledge articles, they can mark these as helpful, etc. And hopefully that provides the answers that they're looking for. If they're not able to get the answers from that, that's where we can start to use some of the social aspects of Service Anywhere. So we can start to use peer-to-peer knowledge management. So I can ask friends. So if I didn't get the response that I needed, I can post a question. the first thing you'll see here is that Service Anywhere is actually matching your questions to previously asked questions as well. So rather than having to ask the same question again, it's suggesting other people have asked a similar question. And you can actually subscribe to that question, meaning that when the initiator of the question receives a response, you too would receive a response from that. So really giving the ability to reach out to your friends, subject matter experts. The other way that we can request support, if that doesn't work and you actually need some support, you can then go into the request support button. And this is where we're starting to use chatbot technology. So I can type in a term. I have a broken phone as an example, and I can type that in. And what Service Anywhere will do, it will try and match my particular issue against the most appropriate support offering. So it's going to come back and look through the database and actually say, thanks, please select the support topic that most closely relates to your problem. That way we can make sure that we capture the information required for that particular type of request, etc. We can put in the information and we can post that. After we put in that information, if we want to, we can then initiate a chat with an operator, and that chat is more relevant because it's based on the information that we've already provided to the operator. Rather than start a chat, get to what the issue is. We've already identified what the issue is before we actually start a conversation or a chat. So we're using chatbot technology. We've just introduced the same concept for email. So for email, a user can email Service Anywhere and ask a question. Service Anywhere will then interpret that question and send them back suggested knowledge articles or offerings that they can open. So therefore, reducing the number of calls going to the service desk, we can start to automate that and make that work more intelligently. So just a glimpse into the portal, the chatbot technology, the social side of that, the Ask Friends, and hopefully you've seen the intuitive nature of the interface. So from that, I want to go on to into what we'd call the agent client for Service Anywhere. So this is where your operators would sit. I've just logged in here. You can see this is the landing page. Operators can define their own dashboards, own reports, so they can see what's relevant to them when they go back to the dashboards, and they can log on from there, and they can drill down to the information that's absolutely relevant to them. So from a operator's perspective, I want to show you a few things that I talked about. The first one is hot topic analytics. So just now we were in the portal. People were searching in the portal. They were potentially logging support requests and service requests, asking their peers questions. What's really important in that is to really understand what they're doing. So Service Anywhere has this hot topic capability that we can see in real time where all the issues are coming from, where are all the support requests coming from. So it draws up this heat map. And the thing to say about this heat map, we're not reliant on the categorization of the record. We're looking at the title, the description. So we're looking at the whole record as a whole to start determining where the real issues are. So you can see here the virus is causing me the biggest issue at the moment. So I can start to drill down and I can start to see really the support requests that really relate to that. So whether it's virus warning pop-up, or I can go to remove notice, so I can see what the trends are within the environment. So from here I can do things like maybe I need to create a knowledge article and post it to my users to make them more aware of what's going on or things they should be aware of, or I can create another offering for that. So very powerful in terms of the ability to go down. I can analyze the questions that people are asking. Again, it's really, really strong and powerful that people are getting answers to their questions, but actually should we be more proactive in sending those answers, sending answers out before people have to go in and actually search for them. And I can also see what users are actually searching. The other place that we use this type of feature within Service Anywhere is around problem management. A lot of organizations we work with do very good reactive problem management, but sometimes they struggle a bit more on the reactive side. So again, I can create this heat map looking at all the incident records within the system, and it will draw me up where most pain is coming from. Manager, I need to go in and investigate that in a lot more detail. So I can see here all the incidents that related to that, and if I want to, I can easily select the incidents that are similar, and I can go in and easily create a problem record within Service Anywhere to investigate the root cause of that. But this is giving me the ability to do that analytical approach. Again, thinking about the operator, and I mentioned earlier about designing a specific function for the service desk. This is what we call live support. So this allows the service desk agent. This will connect into telephony solutions if you have them, but it allows the agent to select the caller. So in this case, I'm going to choose this particular user, and I can see straight away all the open support requests that they have. So maybe they're ringing up for an update of a record. I don't have to then go through the process of logging a record. I can just see what they are. I can decide if I want to work on that, look at that, etc., rather than open a new record. This also allows me to start doing things around to putting in the title and the description. So I might say my email is not working, and what Service Anywhere will do, again, it will start to suggest solutions. If there's other incidents that are open around that, if we got offerings, if it's related to a CI. So it's bringing the information back to the service desk agent so they can answer and resolve that particular customer's issue as quickly as possible. So by just typing those, few words in, I can look at the solutions that Service Anywhere is looking at. I can look at those. I can read them through to the customer, or I can actually send details of that to the customer automatically as well. I can add those to the record. So it's all about improving the way that the service guest can respond to the customer. The other way we look at this as well is we have a number of our customers that aren't just user-based, but we have retail customers. And in that particular scenario, maybe someone from a particular branch has logged an issue. They've gone off shift or they're at lunch, and someone else has gone in and is going to log the same issue about maybe a till is not working or something like that. So rather than do it on user-based, we can actually look at all the open records for a particular location as well. So by selecting that location in, we can actually see, actually someone from that location has already submitted a support request around that. So rather than, again, create another one, we can just give them an update about that. So again, we're designing the interface certainly with these use cases in mind. The other place that I mentioned that we want to, really help the operator out is with the ability to relate configuration items to records. So I've just opened a change record, and you'll see here, if you're looking at the description, it says upgrade the sales database DB03 NY82 to Oracle 11G from 10G. So because I've put in a CI that's recognized, and DB03, etc., is a CI which is held within the Service Anywhere configuration database, it automatically recognizes that and makes the link to the system. So it means the operator doesn't have to go in to the involved CI tab, find the record. They can simply type that into the description, and that's automatically added for them. The other thing that you can see on the right-hand side is what we call contextual analytics. So this is looking at this particular change record, looking at past success rates of this type. Has this type of change been successful? Has it failed? And giving you the information back around those. What sort of risk rating did it have on that record last time it was implemented? So providing in context back to the operator all the information. In this case, we're looking at a change, could be an incident record, etc. Bringing back the information that will help them progress through that particular record within the system. And other things they can do by just clicking on the schedule. Again, they could visualize where the change is, whether it is related to backout windows, etc. If they need to go in and start scheduling that particular change, they can see where it is. They can see if it's inside or outside a change window. In this case, it's outside. If I just want to move it, I can quickly just click and drag the change and move it into a maintenance window quite simply. And if I'd done the save, that would have kept that change at that particular point. So it's all about bringing the information that's applicable, that's needed by the operator to do their day-to-day roles. In terms of the process owner or process automation, one of the things that always comes up is the ability for people to not only to access reports and dashboards, but really be able to create their own. So Service Anywhere offers the ability to easily go in, look at these reports. I can expand these reports out if I want to. I can close them down, etc. Very easy to do that. I can pinch it smaller, and if need be, and if I want to, I can go in and I can create a new report. Now that may be one of the existing out-the-box reports within Service Anywhere, and I can just select that from a list, or I could very easily go in and create an own report, create a new report. So again, you can see here examples of different reports that I can say. If I wanted to look at knowledge articles, I can just select that report. I can look at that in preview, and then I can just quickly add that, and that will quickly add to my dashboard. As you can see there, article count by users already added. And to create your own reports, it's literally click and drag, decide what you want to report against, look at a preview, and add that to your dashboard. Reporting is very important. I spoke about earlier, everyone is very keen to see reports, but we want to take reports basically a step further. So again, I'm going to go back into change, and I'm going to look at our change analytics capability within Service Anywhere. So this is really taking KPIs and really applying some analytics against them. So on the screen here, you can see that we're reporting some KPIs, and we're reporting some success rate KPIs in the first panel. So we're saying we're 83% against target. We need to improve by 7% to reach my particular target. Well, that's quite easy to work out because you're just looking at 90% and looking at what your actual is. But what Service Anywhere really allows you to do is to actually give you insights into how you can improve. So if you look at the bottom here, it's saying you can improve, you can achieve a 6% increase in your success rate if you just focus on these two particular services or these two particular change categories. So this is basically showing me that a lot of the issues I'm having is around the exchange service. So I can focus in on that, I can look at that, I can then start to look at those changes and see why are they failing. So I can start to really do some analytics to start to improve the way that that I'm actually implementing that or assessing or approving those particular changes. On the middle pane also, we're actually looking at how we can improve the process from a lead time, so thinking about the efficiency of the process. So if I look at standard changes, and iTool has a definition about standard changes, you know, repeatable, successful. What Service Anywhere is also telling us, there are potentially some change types that kind of qualify for that type of change. So they could maybe want to be converted, or maybe could be converted to standard changes. And it's basically saying if you do that, you're going to start to save, you know, you're going to have shorter implementation times, and hopefully you'll also drive up your change success rates and efficiencies from that as well. The last pane on there is really around automation. So again, Service Anywhere is analysing the change process, the end-to-end change process, and looking at you know, the number of steps in the process, and starting to make recommendations where you can improve that process. So if you've got a number of phases in the change record, actually we could start to take those out. But it's also starting to give you insights into if you started to automate, so use Rumble type automation solutions to automate those particular changes. Again, it's giving you an indication of where you can save time and therefore money. A lot of people are looking at you know, automating, you know, deployment of changes, etc. And the common question we're always asked is where do I start? And Service Anywhere can really start to give you those answers of where can you start within that. So to give you a sense of what we're doing around, you know, the process automation side, the reporting, the change analytics, etc. The last one around that is around kind of automation, but the administrator experience as well. So I've just gone into, I've logged in as an administrator, and I can see in front of me the process flow for an incident in this particular example. And these are all delivered out in the box and fully documented, so you can actually just pick up and use them. But if you need to adopt or adapt the process flow to meet your own organisation's needs, again, you can easily do this. And Service Anywhere provides the ability to easily go in and start creating your own phases. So literally, it's kind of click and drag. I can go into a phase. I can decide that I want to add, say, a new transition. So I want to say I can go from classify to review, and I can simply go in a couple of clicks, and I've created that transition between those different phases. Service Anywhere uses a concept of business rules. Those business rules are really there to drive the behaviour of the record. So a business rule can be something simple like making a field mandatory, or moving a record from one phase to another based on the completion of a particular field within the record. So again, no programming experience required to be able to make any adjustments that are required to Service Anywhere. So just give you a sense of the administrator experience within the solution. So I'm just going to go back to the slides now, and what I've shown you today is very much just a small glimpse into some of the features of Service Anywhere. As you've seen, I haven't gone into detail about an incident, a problem, or a change, but it's worth understanding what Service Anywhere can offer you as an organisation. So Service Anywhere is a SaaS-based product. And just to give you a sense of the functions and the capability that we have within Service Anywhere, it's not just about a ticketing tool. You can also do a lot more with it. So as you can see here, we have service portfolio management capabilities, service catalog, which you saw a bit of within our self-service, integrated knowledge, request fulfillment, idea and proposal management, so the ability to do crowdsourcing of ideas, which I didn't have time to show you today, integrating surveys not just as a result of a ticket, but if you wanted to send a survey out to the whole of a particular group or a particular department, and analyze the results. You can do that through Service Anywhere as well. And then we kind of have the standard sort of ITIL-based processes: incident, problem, change, service level management, release management. The analytics I showed you in terms of the change analytics, not just reporting, but very strong around reporting. The other thing is worth saying, I mentioned CMDB and CIs, that Service Anywhere has a service asset and configuration management database. So it's not just the CMDB. You can manage the full life cycle of your assets within Service Anywhere. We can do software asset management. We can also look at the financial management side in terms of depreciation against those assets. Stock management, very much linked to configuration management. We can look and check if things are in stock, and we can automatically allocate them out of stock and allocate them to users if required. A very useful module within Service Anywhere is also contract and vendor. So we can relate the configuration items or assets show you this on the demo. That incident was that information to the operator. So not only details of the description of the issue, but also within the same screen, if that particular configuration item's under support from a particular user, etc. The other and the last one I'll talk about today, we just recently added to the solution, is application portfolio management. It's the ability to understand all the portfolio of applications that you provide within your organization, whether they're COTS applications, whether they're bespoke, what the roadmap is for those, when are you looking to maybe replace those, looking at the value of those in terms of are there lots of issues and incidents against them, against those particular applications. Really using the same data that we've got within our service asset and configuration management data to be able
interesting and useful. Really sorry about the interruption there, guys. Hopefully you've caught what we've been saying since then. So yes, as promised in the invitation for this webinar, we'd like to tell you about how our customers have been successful with Service Anywhere and the benefits that they've found from using the product. Here is a very recent customer of ours, the James Hutton Institute. They are a Scottish scientific and environmental research institution, but they do environmental research about crop growth for the whole of the world. And they have done a very comprehensive review of the market recently. So they went out to tender, they examined all the tools out there, and they decided that Service Anywhere was the best option for them. So, and you can see here in the quotation in the middle of the slide, we chose Service Anywhere because of the user experience, which is always our biggest priority. What I love about talking to the Hutton Institute is how excited they are about rolling out Service Anywhere. So the service desk manager there said, for once in IT, we're actually excited about rolling out a new piece of technology to our staff because we really believe that Service Anywhere has the wow factor and people will be really delighted to use it. The value to the client, the things they really liked here in the box at the bottom of the page is the licensing model. We've got a single tier licensing model, so when you sign up, you have access to all the modules that Nev showed. You don't have to pay any extra for those modules, and you can have named licenses as well as concurrent licenses, which is great for the Hutton Institute who are going to be using it across IT, and they found that it has vastly reduced their costs to be able to have a concurrent license option. The other thing that they love about it is that they're finding that they can actually use it for new things, not just service desk. So the ask friends function or suggest an idea function. People are putting things in like we need a new coffee machine, or they're asking each other how they can do VLOOKUPs in Excel, for example. So it's becoming a tool not just for standard service desk tickets, but also extended across the organization for other things, which is really exciting for them. So that's the Hutton Institute. The next one here is a central government department, DFID. They were looking for to refresh their service desk tool. We're listed on G-Cloud on the digital marketplace for public sector organizations. So that makes it a nice, straightforward, easy way to procure. So that's what they did with Service Anywhere. Before they used Service Anywhere, the perception of IT within the department was very poor. They reviewed a number of tools, and actually within the first month of going live with Service Anywhere, they saw that inbound calls dropped by 65% because their staff were helping themselves. They were having access to the knowledge they needed in order to get their own questions answered, which is great because they're a global organization, and so they needed round-the-clock support, and now they're able to add value to the organization rather than just responding to similar tickets. They said here, yes, you can see here that the ease of self-service enabled a culture change, and they're now rolling Service Anywhere out into other departments, so facilities management, HR, and even as a recording tool for their people in the field. Aer Lingus, a great Irish brand here. They have been using Service Anywhere for a few years now, since we first launched it. They were looking for a better experience. They wanted to reduce service desk use of ITIL. So when I asked the service desk director here at Aer Lingus why he chose Service Anywhere, he always says three things. The user experience, he said it was brilliant. The fact that people can track their own tickets so they don't have to ring in for updates. Portal is customizable, so he's just put 3 buttons on the portal. I need help, I want to buy something, or I don't know what I need, to make it really simple for people. The functionality for IT, he said that some of their service desk staff actually refused to use their previous tool, and they just did everything their own way in Excel, so there was no knowledge sharing. But with Service Anywhere, the uptake's been great. You can see some quotations here from them. Can't believe how easy and fast the system is to use. Assigning tickets to the team is really quick. And then the other reason is they were very under pressure on time. They had to go live with Service Anywhere 2 months after signing the contract, and that was very easy for us. With Service Anywhere. So, and also the other key thing about Aer Lingus is the mobile and tablet device friendly, because they have service desk staff walking between offices and aeroplane hangars, and the Service Anywhere portal just resizes for the mobile device because it's based on HTML5, so you can use it on tablets or phones wherever you are. You don't have to learn a new tool or download a new app. Service Anywhere just resizes, and that was a great thing for them. Just to say, there's a great crowdsourcing review site called G2 Crowd that's getting a lot of press at the moment. It's becoming more and more popular because it's real time. So rather than analyst reviews that lag, this is immediate. So as soon as anybody puts a review up there, you can start to see how people are finding it. It's the world-leading business software review platform. For Service Anywhere here, we've got 17 reviews. You feel free to go and have a read. And we won the Summer 2015 High Performer Award from G2 Crowd with Service Anywhere. You can have a look at other products there too, and it's a great way to see real views of Service Anywhere. So that's now. We're moving on to Q&A here. let me just have a look what questions we have. Feel free to ask some questions through the portal. Here you can ask questions. We have some questions already. Brilliant. Let me just have a look at them. Here we go. Good question here, Nev. How accessible is the HP solution as it's very visual? We have students and staff that have visual impairments for which we have to provide audible adaptations. How compliant is the solution with this UK legislation? So we would need to address that. Specifically with you. We have had similar requests before, and we've been able to meet them. In fact, we've stood out in that way. Nev, you might want to just comment on that.
So one of the big examples we had of that was around Aer Lingus, and the change manager at Aer Lingus was is blind. So that was one of their key requirements, was to have the ability for, he uses a software product called JAWS, which was screen reading software. So that was fully compatible to Service Anywhere, so he could use it for all his change management, logging of tickets, scheduling of tickets, understanding that, and approvals. So yes, we do work around those particular bits of usability, etc.
Great question. Thanks so much for that one. Let me have a look here and see if there's any more. Feel free to go ahead and ask some more. We have one here. Nev, this is a really good one. Thanks so much for posing this question. How does Service Anywhere link to asset management? You commented on that a little bit there in the last slide, Nev, but feel free to expand upon that.
Yeah. So what makes a SACM database, a Service Asset Configuration Management database, as opposed to CMDB? Well, CMDBs typically will only look at the life cycle of a CI, from its operational state. If you do asset management within there, you have to look at the whole life cycle, and that's from procurement all the way through to disposal. So any CI or asset within Service Anywhere has that full view of that life cycle. So from the point it's ordered to in stock, to in operation, to withdrawn or lost, etc. We manage the end-to-end life cycle. It's a single database, so you don't have to worry about assets being in a separate database. They can all be held within the single service and asset and configuration management database.
Great. I hope that answered that question, but we can obviously speak directly after the session. One more question just come in here. My service desk is very small. What is the minimum of support staff you would go to with Service Anywhere? Nev?
Okay, so we start pretty small. So our standard thing is about 15, but we do go lower than that as well, depending on the and if they want to grow with us as well, they want to grow out from there, we can do that. The important thing to say around licenses, yes, we charge, and I think Verity mentioned this, all the functionality we talked about, all the different modules are all included in a single license. We don't charge for different modules. All end user access is free of charge. So if you have 30,000 people or 40,000 people within your organisation, students, etc., they can all access the portal. There is no license associated with that, and you may obviously have a lot smaller number of operators that need to use the system, and we can offer name licenses or concurrent licenses or a combination of both of those.
Brilliant. Any more questions coming in here? I can't see any more questions coming in here, so that's great. yeah, so let me just hand back to Amy at
Yeah,
Bytes.
thanks guys. Thanks Verity, thanks Nev for answering those questions. So yeah, so that's it for today then for questions from the looks of things. So thanks Verity and Nev, sorry, for presenting the webinar today, and thank you everyone also for taking the time out of your day to join us in today's webinar. So as mentioned previously, a feedback form will pop up at the end. So if you do want any more information or if you'd like a follow-up call, please pop that in there. And apologies for the issues with the audio earlier on. So I'll send you all a link to the recording this afternoon if you'd like to rewatch it if you didn't get to see the whole thing. So that's it really. So enjoy the rest of your day everyone, and thanks again Verity and Nev.